Episode 7, How to Look Great in Your Wedding Photos. In the past, we have taught a few seminars at conferences on how to look great in photos. And we have often heard people say, "Oh, the workshop on posing, right?" However, thinking that the quality of a photo depends solemnly on posing is a big misconception. And at the I Do Photography, we understand that very well. Our photographers and videographers will direct you on the wedding day, but knowing these concepts ahead of time will help you get a lot more out of your time with our team. And as a bonus, you will be able to apply these concepts to every picture you ever take. 1. Be interested instead of interesting. Would you rather spend 30 minutes talking to somebody who is interested in you or someone who's only interested in themselves? The same principle applies to photos and videos. If you're constantly thinking, "Oh, how do I look? I'm not photogenic," or "I need to smile," or even, "Can we finally go eat?" that will make you look detached and strained. So what's the best way to combat that? The answer is simple. Shift your attention. We love watching people that are passionately engaged in something. So focus on your partner, the photographer, or simply on the fact that today is your wedding day. You will also likely enjoy your session a lot more if you're not constantly focusing on how you look. 2. Embody self-confidence. Not to be confused with arrogance or narcissism. By definition, self-confidence is the feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. The funny thing is, in this context, it doesn't matter much whether you have the correct abilities as long as you believe that you do. Self-confidence quickly fixes your posture, allows you to be more playful, and gives you that good feeling that you can do anything. If you tend to be on the shy side and confidence may not come easily, studies show that mind-to-body connection works in reverse as well. So here are a few easy practical ways in which you can conjure self-confidence any moment. Do the Wonder Woman pose. This pose got its first major boost in a TED Talk by the Harvard sociologist Amy Cuddy in 2012, and since then, it has been used by a multitude of people to embody confidence and consequently build up their own. Try to spend at least a few minutes a day doing this pose and do it again right before your couples session to remind yourself that you can really do anything. Use affirmations. You can say them out loud or just repeat them in your head. Say a simple phrase like, "Today's our day," or "We're rocking it," a few times over and over, and at some point, your mind and body will follow. In case your future spouse is not the type of person to do power poses or affirmations, don't be afraid to just do them yourself. This way, you can be there to lift them and help them enjoy their wedding day as well. 3. How do you look together? You've looked at yourself in the mirror plenty of times, but have you looked in the mirror together? Some poses the photographers and videographers will have you do will feel simple and natural, but others may be a bit more foreign to you. To get comfortable in them, spend a few minutes in front of the mirror together and try different poses. Take a notice of the ones that you like the most and try to get comfortable in them. Here are a few examples of options we really love. 4. Learn from dancers. We love watching dancers. They're elegant, poised, and smooth. So let's pick up a few tips from them. Anytime your foot leaves the floor, point your toes. Especially in close-ups, turn your foot out a bit, meaning your heel goes towards the center of your body and your toes go out from the center of your body. There's an exception to this rule if you're trying to do a cute club-footed photo where the principle is exactly the opposite. Your toes go together and your heels go apart. Posture, posture, posture. This is another good habit that's great to start practicing ahead of time, and it's got plenty of health benefits. 5. If you think that you may want to do grand poses in your photos, like the dip kiss, also referred to as the Hollywood kiss, or the lift, start practicing these poses ahead of time. Hollywood kiss and the lift photos are very fun to do, but it often takes a long time for the shooters to explain to our couples how to do these poses properly. So practicing them in advance will save you a lot of time on the wedding day. The Hollywood kiss or the dip can be done in a few different ways depending on how far you want to take it. The key factors to remember are for the person being dipped to keep their back straight and to point their toes. This version requires quite a lot of support from the person doing the dipping. If you want to do a mini version of this pose, the person being dipped can put a little bend in their back and simply point their toes with either a straight or a bent knee, while the person doing the dipping is only slightly supporting them. For the lift, there are different degrees as well. The person lifting can pick up their partner at the waist for a small version or just under the buttocks for a big one. The person being lifted should bend one knee or both knees and also point the toes. If the person being lifted is wearing a dress with a big train, it is possible to kick the dress up so it would lift up in the air. For this pose, make sure to look at each other and not at the camera. 6. Practice flirting with each other and talking only with your eyes. It is likely that we'll be taking some shots of you guys walking or doing another activity together. What often happens is people just drop their gaze down to the ground or start talking, which really narrows down the amount of usable pictures we end up getting. Any activity we have you do is first of all about the two of you and your relationship, not about the activity itself. So try to maintain eye contact with each other and communicate love and interest with your eyes and your faces. 7. Almost last, but not at all least, allow yourself to show vulnerability and true emotion. Showing your feelings can be sometimes tricky, especially for people that don't like to display their emotion publicly. But your wedding day is the perfect day to make an exception and really go for it. You already have so much love for your partner, so all you need to do is to also let us witness a little bit of it. Finally, even though we just gave you a lot of advice, feel free to use it or not to use it. Because honestly, the biggest trick to looking good in your photos and videos is simply having fun. As long as you're truly enjoying yourselves during your couple session and your wedding, you will look great. Here comes the checklist. Experiment with doing the Wonder Woman pose for 2 minutes to see how it makes me feel. Play in front of the mirror together to see which poses we like most. If we want to do big poses like the dip or the lift, find time to practice them. Flirt with each other time to time, because why not?